And guys, we got a lot to talk about here. I mean, Trent Williams reset the tackle market. The Patriots spent all the dollars. The Packers kept Aaron Jones. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers retained a lot of key pieces, looking for a repeat there. But first, looking at what we've seen so far in free agency, Albert, is there one signing that sticks out to you that is the most impactful so far?
Yeah, I think it's the one you hit off the top, Trent Williams. The Niners being able to keep Trent Williams in-house. That left tackle positions was going to be a tough one to fill. And, to look at where they were a year ago after Joe Staley retired, the fact that they're able to get better at that position is, just a testament to the job that they've done building that thing up. And, they bring him in last year for a third-round pick. I'll say that again, a third-round pick. They were able to get Trent Williams for a third-round pick. And he comes in and he plays at the level that he played at in his prime in Washington. And I know part of the reason why Williams wanted the no franchise tag designation or the clause in his contract was because that he wanted to recoup some of the money that he lost at the end in Washington. Certainly able to do that. And this allows the Niners now to move forward with more flexibility with their plan. They sign Alex Mack to be their center. And really they can go and attack, a number of different areas in the draft now because they're not tied down to having to address the left tackle position.
True. Very true. Wilton, what about you? Who's your headliner?
You know what, man? I'm gonna go with the obvious in the Cowboys signing Dak Prescott. I think when you look at the Cowboys from last year, and obviously Andy Dalton had to come in when Prescott went out. I think the Cowboys finally getting that signing with Dak Prescott. He's the second highest paid quarterback in the league. So now, and if you look at the division that he plays in, there's no excuses for Dak Prescott moving forward. They are a team that definitely needs to compete, within the playoffs. They should, be a favorite to win their division. But then also beyond the offensive side of the ball, Dallas was a team, also looking to fill some holes on the defensive side of the ball. And I think that, when you look at Dallas now, offense looks pretty set with Prescott back at quarterback. Granted, he stays healthy, coming back from his injury. But then also looking at, how can the defense propel that team moving forward throughout the stretch of the season next year?
Fabs, when you look at all these moving pieces as well, is there one player or a group of players who may have kind of stock up in the fantasy aspect with the free agent signing that you think?
There's a few. Unfortunately, this free agent period for fantasy has been really bad. Ask anybody who's got Josh Jacobs in a dynasty league. So the name that comes to mind in terms of seeing the biggest increase in value for a player who changed teams is probably Curtis Samuel. Now, you look at the numbers in his last 10 games of 2020, he was a wide receiver 12, and he was third in target share in Carolina behind Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore. Now he goes to Washington, where he'll be the number 2 wide receiver, of course, behind Terry McLaurin, and he'll have the Amish rifle, Ryan Fitzpatrick, throwing him the football. At least that's what it looks like on the surface, and Fitzpatrick has played pretty good and put up some pretty good numbers from a fantasy perspective over the last year and a half. So I like that move the most in terms of players changing teams. But Madelyn, overall, this has not been a good free agent period for fantasy managers.
Yeah, especially for those dynasty leagues. But you mentioned Curtis Samuel reuniting with Ron Rivera, his former coach. And then Ryan Fitzpatrick was quoted saying, hey, every week is a revenge game for me because I've played for every game. So you know what? This quarterback is going to be fired up